Okay, let's see if this thing works. I have a new apparatus here, so I'm going to see if this thing works for you. And what I'm going to do for you today is I'm going to show you proper push-ups and sit-ups. So I'm going to back up a little bit and start this thing off. Bear with me. I'm not a professional at this. So we're going to get good at it together. Not the push-ups and stuff, but talking about using this new thing that I got to record. So let's see how it works. All right. First of all, this is Coach Tippy, and I want to thank you guys for bearing with this as much as we can do to make things easier for you and better for you, the best it's going to be. So just bear with us. We'll be patient with you. Just be patient with us as well. So we're all learning how to get through this thing together. So first of all, doing proper push-ups and crunches. Let's start off with the push-ups, okay? Push-ups, what they target and what they work on is going to be your chest and your triceps. So many people do them incorrectly, and I'm talking about just your everyday person all the way up to fitness people. They do them incorrectly, and some people teach them, I think, incorrectly. And bear in mind, all this that I'm telling you is my opinion, and since I'm teaching you this, my opinion is what counts. Okay? You're more than welcome to research and find out other advice, but I think this is a way that it's going to help you to become a better person doing push-ups and have your push-ups better. Okay? First of all, there is no such thing as a girl push-up. Okay? I train males and females. I work with male and female athletes, and one thing I try to stress to my female athletes is don't compare yourself to guys. Your body and your makeup is totally different. You have to approach things in a different manner than guys do because of your body makeup. But also, you can work just as hard or even harder than a guy doing things the correct way, and you're going to get better. I encourage all my students, all my clients, when I train people, don't compare yourself to the person next to you. I used to teach at a gym in Sarasota. It was actually a gymnastics gym, but I used to be the head cheerleading coach there. It's one of the things that I did in college. You guys know that. And I used to have young ladies come in that wanted to learn, and guys come in that wanted to learn how to do a back handspring. And they would come in wanting to learn how to do a back handspring for their cheerleading. These girls sometimes were 12, 13, 14 years old. And they would stand there and they would watch friends of theirs who were on the gymnastics team that were doing tumbling passes. And they would look at them in awe and say, man, that's not fair. I wish I could do it like them. And I'm like, okay, how long has that person been performing back handsprings, tumbling, and things to that effect? They're like, well, the parents got them into it at an early age. Okay, so let's say parents got you into doing tumbling in a gymnastics class when you were like 2 or 3 years old. Okay, let's just use 2. Okay, so 2 years old, you got into a tumbling class, and you're now 12 years old. That's 10 years. If you've been doing something for 10 years and you're not good at it by now, you need to find something else to do, or you need to work a little bit harder. Okay, so that's why I would tell my clients, don't compare yourself to that person. This is your first time attempting to do a back handspring. You're the same age as them. So you have not done this for 10 years, and they have done it for 10 years. Of course, they're going to be better than you. So don't compare yourself. When it comes to what you do best, and if you've been practicing it for longer than they have, you should be better at it than them. Okay? So please, don't compare yourself to other people. Compare yourself to the progress that you make over time. And if you're working hard, you should get better at it. And compare yourself to that. Compare yourself to yourself. Okay? Now, when it comes to doing a proper push-up, okay, what I'd like to teach is for people to work on the push-up as it was designed to affect your body. When you do a push-up, it's working on your chest and your triceps. Okay? It's the same thing that you do when you're doing bench press. Now, the first movement that you do, okay, it's using your chest muscles, your pectoral muscles. When you finish the push-up, the last thing that locks out are your triceps. Okay, same thing when you're doing the bench press. You start off doing the bench press, it's working your chest muscles, and then when you lock your arms out at the end of that bench press, you're locking out with your triceps. So when you work that chest area like that with bench press or push-ups, you're doing chest and triceps. Now there are some other minor engagement of muscles, but for the most part, the major muscles that are engaged with a push-up are the chest and the triceps. Now, one of the other things that are engaged are your abs, okay? If you don't have a nice tight core, then you're gonna find yourself with a little dip in your back, okay? Because your core is not tight, okay? Also, some people tend to put their heads down when they're doing push-ups, because if your head is down, you don't have to go down as far because you don't want your head to hit the mat, okay? That's cheating, and the only thing you're cheating is yourself, okay? You need to keep your body straight, abs tight, and keep your body, you know, in a nice level plane, and then do your push-up from there, okay? I'm gonna back up. Hopefully this thing will record me so that you can still see what I'm doing, okay? All right, here we go. All right, the way I like to teach when you're doing a push-up, take your hands, put them palm down on the floor underneath your armpits, okay? Your feet with your toes down, your knees should be locked out, and right now the only thing touching the floor, okay, are my toes, the palms of my hands, and my chest, okay? I have my core tightened, so really the only thing are touching my chest, the palms of my hands, and my toes. Now, when you do a push-up, you wanna breathe in through the nose, and as you exhale through the mouth, push yourself off the floor. So in through the nose, and push. Okay, now, I'm off the floor. Notice that my body is nice and straight, okay? Now, when you do the push-up, you wanna lower yourself down, boom, so that your chest is about 1 inch off the floor. And then you exhale and push yourself back up. Now, when people do girl push-ups, okay? Last time I want you to refer to these as girl push-ups. This is just an improper push-up designed by someone who couldn't do a proper push-up, okay? It's not designed by girls, I guarantee you. No one is going to say, hey, here's something that's inferior, name it after me, okay? And when you do this, you're not helping yourself, okay? When you do this motion, of course it's easier because you're not holding your body weight up like you should when you're doing a push-up, okay? I don't feel this in my abs, so I'm not tightening up my abs like I should be, and I don't feel as much pressure in my shoulders and my chest and my triceps, okay? So it's just an improper push-up. It's not a girl push-up, all right? So when you do a push-up and you can't go down all the way, okay? Remember I said, I don't want you, when you do your push-up, to have your head down, because this is cheating, okay? That's not a push-up, all right? So what you do, have your head up, breathe in through the nose, exhale through the mouth. So in through the nose on the way down, exhale through the mouth on the way up. All right, now, when you're doing your push-ups, if you want to come down and rest, and while I'm in this resting position, my chest is touching the floor, my palms are touching the floor, and my toes are on the floor. My neck, my knees are still locked out, okay? All I'm doing is resting right here, so I'm not holding up my body weight with my upper body. That's all I'm doing. Okay? Now that I'm rested, I'm gonna do another push-up. In through the nose, exhale through the mouth, and push. Lower myself back down, and rest. Okay? I would rather that you do push-ups like that until you can build up the strength to hold yourself off the floor about 1 inch and continue doing your push-ups. That way you're working the exact same muscles. You're working everything in your body that you need to work in order to do a proper push-up. You're going to get stronger. You're just taking a little bit of a rest in between without taking the pressure off your abs and without taking the pressure off your legs by letting your knees falter, okay? So it's still a proper push-up. You're just taking a break in between so that you can rest, all right? Do not do them the other way. Like I said, I'm not going to call them that name again because it's just an improper push-up. And you're not going to gain anything from it, okay? You don't practice doing something wrong until you get it right. You practice doing it right until you get it right, all right? So that's your push-up. So, palms of your hands underneath the armpit, toes on the floor, chest on the floor, knees locked out, abs tight. Breathe in through the nose, exhale through the mouth, and push up. Lower yourself down to about 1 inch off the floor, and then push up again. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. If you're not able to do that, lower yourself down and rest. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth and push up. Hold yourself up for as long as you can, and then lower yourself down and rest, okay? Until you get to the point where you can do proper push-ups, okay? Those are push-ups, okay? Those are not anything that you need to cheat on, okay? So don't cheat on them. If you cheat on them, you're not gonna get any better at it, okay? Great, thank you. All right, now, crunches. Let's do crunches. Now, my abs have always been something that I've been able to work really well. Right now, I'm in the process of getting back in shape from my hip surgery, but my abs still strong underneath all this top coat, okay? The way I teach them, people really don't do sit-ups anymore. When you do a sit-up, once you come past 45 degrees, okay, you engage your hip flexor muscles and not your abdominal muscles. So, we really don't do sit-ups anymore. Plus with sit-ups, you either need to put your feet under something or get somebody to hold your feet. With crunches, that's unnecessary, okay? So this is gonna be perfect for you when you're stuck inside the house and you're practicing social distancing, or if you don't have anybody to come in and hold your feet or anything like that. You don't need it because you can do crunches, okay? I teach feet flat on the floor at a comfortable level, knees bent. I have my clients put their hands crisscross across their chest, okay? Because people tend to put their hands back behind their head, and the first thing they do is they pull up on the back of their neck, okay? These are neck ups. These are not crunches, okay? You want to keep your head down. Now, if you can keep your head down, okay, tilt your head back, elbows to the mat, and pull up with your abs. Notice the inflection in my voice. Squeezing the abs tight, lower myself back down, okay? My head and my hands are not touching the mat right now, just my shoulder blades, okay? And then I come back up and squeeze as I breathe out through the mouth, inhale through the nose. Again, hands, head, not touching, okay? Still keeping pressure on my abs, come up, squeeze, and down. Out through the mouth, okay? In through the nose. All right, so what I teach, because some people can't do it that way without pulling up on the back of their neck, I teach crisscrossing the hands across the chest. Tilt your head back slightly, okay? What this does for you, it opens up your windpipe a little bit. Your windpipe is curved. If you tilt your head back slightly, it straightens out the windpipe so you can breathe better, okay? And if you're looking above your head kind of like that, you really don't have a tendency of pulling your head up and curving the neck, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna pull your shoulders up toward the ceiling as you curve up and squeeze your abs. So, in through the nose, exhale through the mouth, okay? In through the nose, exhale through the mouth. In through the nose, exhale through the mouth. I'm looking at a point on the ceiling, and I'm not taking my eyes off that point, okay? That keeps me from looking up or curving my head forward, okay? In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Squeeze it tight there, okay? And down, okay? The whole time, the back of my head stayed off the mat until I'm finished, okay? So that's a proper crunch. And the other thing that I want to show you really quickly, when people do abdominal exercises, your abs are right here, okay? Your abs get really tight. And next thing you know, people start having lower back problems, okay? Right back here. If that's your front, that's your back, you have lower back problems. Reason why is because you have this six-pack of tight abs and you haven't done anything to strengthen your lower back, so you have a problem with the abs being so strong, they're pulling on the lower back and it causes problems, okay? Women who are pregnant find themselves in the same situation, okay? They have an increase in size with their upper body, and so that tends to make them lean forward more, okay? And that has a problem on the lower back. So doctors will teach them, and trainers will teach them to do this exercise that I'm going to teach you in order to strengthen their lower back, okay? But why just let pregnant ladies have this exercise? It is a great exercise, and now a lot of college and professional strength and conditioning coaches, along with hopefully high school strength and conditioning coaches, are starting to teach athletes to do this, to help strengthen their lower back, because everybody wants, especially here in Florida, going to the beach, everybody wants to have that six-pack. Well, you got a six-pack, but your lower back is so weak that you walk around having back problems all the time. Okay, so now, this exercise, feet flat on the floor again. take your hand from palm down on the floor, right beside your hips, a little bit out to the side, okay? I like to bring my toes up off the mat and plant my heels into the mat, okay? Now, my movement or my flexibility level after my hip surgery is not quite where it used to be, okay? But I'm gonna give you the gist of what you're doing. You're gonna take your hips and you're gonna push up on your hips and press them up to the ceiling, okay? As you do that, your lower back and your glutes, okay? Squeeze the lower back and the glutes, and then when you bring them down, release that pressure, but I don't let my glutes or my bottom touch the mat or the floor, okay? And then I'm gonna squeeze up to the ceiling again, squeezing my glutes, all right, my butt and my lower back, and then I'm gonna release down again. Again, not touching, okay, but releasing the pressure. And then squeeze up to the ceiling again, okay? I breathe out through the mouth, in through the nose. Out through the mouth, in through the nose. Out through the mouth, in through the nose, okay? Good. Now, after you finish, you just bring that down. And again, what that does for you is that strengthens your lower back muscles, okay? So that you will have equalization there. When you have those strong, tight abs, now you have strong lower back muscles, and it helps you to stand more straight up or erect than being curved over because your abs are so tight and your lower back is weak, okay? So, thanks very much. Do those, and what I suggest to you as far as your numbers, do as many as you can do correctly, all right? And then stop, rest, and the next day, try to add a few to it. Okay, when I was in high school and I was wrestling and I started doing abs, okay, I laid in bed before I went to sleep at night and I would do abs. And then every night I would add 5 to it. And it got to the point where I would add 10 to it. Then it got to the point where I would add 20, 25, 30, whatever I could to the number that I was doing. Until I got to the point where every night I did about 1,000 crunches in bed before I went to sleep, okay? It took some time to get up to that point, so don't try to rush yourself through it, okay? Do a little bit more today than you did yesterday, and you're going to gain, okay? Don't try to move heaven and earth in one day, okay? Take your time, a little bit at a time. You didn't get in the condition that you're in overnight, and you're not gonna be able to fix it. And I know I'm saying that, but it's hard for everyone to do, including me. Okay, I know the things that I used to be able to do when I was, a very active athlete, and even when I was a coach, when I first got out of school and I was training and all that stuff. Okay, but then during my hip injury, about 2.5 years before I realized that I needed the hip replacement surgery, I knew something was wrong, but I wouldn't go to the doctor, and then I finally went, and the doctor told me I needed hip replacement surgery. And now it's been about 6 months since then. So about 3 years of not being able to be as active as I used to be. I've put on weight, I've lost flexibility, I've lost my conditioning. All those things I can fix because I know how. I just have to take my time. Sometimes when I start doing things, I try to do a little bit too much, but I have to listen to my own advice and take my time, okay? I didn't get out of shape overnight, and I'm not gonna get back into shape overnight. We have to take our time and do it the right way, or we risk injury, or we risk quitting because it's just too hard, okay? Take your time. Again, don't compare yourself to anyone else. Compare yourself to what you did the day before and try to do a little bit better than you did the day before, okay? That's what we should focus on. Thanks very much, guys, and I hope this helps you as you're exercising and learning how to deal with the situation that we're in right now. Thanks very much. I appreciate you. And I'll crawl over here now, and I'm going to turn this video off. Thanks again.